Hi everybody, I'm Laura. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to try to do a really quick beading project. These are products from Bargain Bead Box, and we are going to use this beautiful Druzy Geode slice. Isn't it beautiful? I think most people would want to see the part where they can see inside better. So I'm going to make this the outside. Because if you use this side, you can't really see inside. So I'm going to make this the front. It just makes more sense to me. I don't know. Either way, they can put the necklace on whichever way they choose. And we're going to use some clamshells, some yeah, my brain is not functioning. It always happens that way. The crimp beads, and we have some of these that were in the December bead box, and then some of these beautiful rose gold spacers that I also got. So we're gonna just kind of put this together. I also pulled out some gold jump rings and stuff. Almost everything is from Bargain Bead Box, except for the crimp tubes and gold spacers and some gold chain. So everything else is from Bargain Bead Box. Even my tiger tail is from Bargain Bead Box. The problem with this is it is definitely facing the wrong way. So I'm going to start by putting a jump ring on. That is going to be the very first thing I'm going to do. Oh, there, it did go down over. I was like, maybe I need to open it just a little bit wider. That closed. I am going to double check to make sure that these are not going to go through. And they won't. Okay. That was my biggest issue. We are going to get us a length of tiger tail. I'm just going to take probably a good long length of it off. I'd rather have too much than not enough. And I can always use what I don't use in earrings and that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bead. And I want this to be my center focal, so I'm going to go ahead and put him on. And I'm going to add a couple of these because I want to get the stones as far away from the focal as possible to start out. So we're going to put on a couple of spacer beads. My fingers are not, they're so swollen. And then I'm going to start by putting one of these frosted crisp faceted rondelles. And that's simply what the pattern's going to be. Then we're going to go with spacer bead. I love this little, it's kind of like light peach. That's how it looks so far. Like, it looks really, really, really pretty. I'm just going to keep doing this pattern till I have quite a few on here. I want this to go quite a ways up, and now we're going to switch it to chain. Come on. 3 and a third spacer. And boy, did I ever cut off a whole lot more. I have enough cut off to do like a bracelet. But that's okay. Okay. Oh, I like that length right there. And then finish it with gold chain. That is so pretty. All right, now we're going to scoot this all over to one end here in a bit. But right now we're going to go ahead and crimp. And what I'm going to do is I'm using a clamshell. And I'm using a crimp bead. Now the crimp bead is tiny. And it's going to go, if I can stop it, as close to the end of this as I possibly can get it without dropping it. And I need my crimp pliers. And I'm just going to crimp this flat onto that bead, onto the wire. Just like that. Pick this up so I don't drop it. And I'm going to pull my clamshell up around that so that I'll turn my wire so it's like laying flat in there. See that? Make sure that that is laying flat in there. And I'm just going to push this down. What I'm doing, guys. I like to hold it up where y'all can see what I'm doing, but sometimes it's just not possible. And then give it a little squeeze tight. And then what I'll do is I'll be hooking the chain through this. Right now, I'm just going to bring all this right down to that end. And I'm not going to make it super tight. It's got to have some movement. And I'm going to go ahead And I'm going to cut off a bunch of this extra cord. Like I said, I have enough here to do a whole bracelet with. I got a little overzealous, so I'm just going to cut that off, and I can use that on a bracelet. We're going to drop a clamshell on. If I can get it over the hole, you know, the wire through the hole instead of messing up. I'm going to drop that right down onto the chain, or onto the beads, and then I'm going to drop my crimp bead down in there, and I'm going to reach down in with my needle nose, and I'm going to make sure I have everything where it needs to be. Just let gravity take its, you know, don't let it be too stiff, but I'm going to reach in there. I'm going to squeeze that crimp bead. Turn the clamshell so he's facing the right way. Close him up. I'm going to cut the rest of this wire off. And first I'm going to find out how long I need this. See where I need this to hang. And I'm going to measure. So I'm going to need about 22 inches of chain. So we're going to go ahead and cut 22 inches. I'm going to show you a little trick. So we're going to come here to 22 inches. Come down here. I'm going to cut my chain. I needed just a hair bit more than 22 inches, but there's that. Now we're going to take our jump rings. We're going to open them up. We're going to take our chain. We're going to take our end of our clamshell, and we're going to hook them together. The clamshell is really tiny, so we want to make sure we get that on there good. We're going to take our other end of our chain, and we are also going to do the same. Put on our chain. First we need to take off the put on our clamshell. Close that up. then we're going to simply lay this out and make sure we have this even. Get all these out of our way. We're going to make sure this is even. Sorry about that, guys. We don't want them to be crossed. Make sure everything's laying out perfectly even. We're going to grab one of our pins over here. My fingers will work. And we are simply going to find the center of this, which is this link right here. And we're going to cut that link. And I tossed my counter, so we're going to cut that link right there. And that gives us 2 open ends. We're going to add these 2 copper because they match this right here. I mean, you can use gold if you want. I might just do that. I have a small gold one right here still. No, there's a small gold one. We'll use a small gold one and a large gold one to add our clasp on. I'm not sure why I have this clasp. I think it's because of that color, but we're gonna go with it. We're mixing metals. Never be afraid of mixed metals. It's actually been quite the theme lately. We're going to add our chain. Our bar. Close it right up. And then we're going to take the bigger one. Really didn't have to be a bigger one, but that's what I have here, so we're going to do it. Open it. Add on our toggle clasp. Close it. And there we are. So we have, this is all done, guys. I don't know what that was just now. And it is complete. I absolutely love this color. And coupled with that gold, that chain is so brilliant and shiny. Anyways, I'm going to take some pictures and I'll add it to the end. Thanks for watching, guys.